guys, Miss Sokol here. I am happy to have you back with me to learn today about how we will tend to our eggs. We've got the eggs in the incubator. We handled them to see if they were quality eggs that probably will produce chicks. And now we're going to learn how to tend to them. Tending is when you take care of something. So you can tend to a garden, you can tend to your friends, you can tend to your siblings. That means you take care of them. And there are very important things that we have to do in the next 20 days to take care of or tend to our eggs. We're going to talk about temperature, moisture, and turning our eggs. So the first thing we need to talk about is temperature. Now, temperature, of course, is how hot or cold something is. And I showed you the other day our incubator. This here is a picture of an incubator, this white box. There are lots of different kinds of incubators, but this is the kind that I have in my home. And an incubator is there because, of course, we don't have a hen to sit on the eggs and roost and keep them warm. An adult hen, her body temperature is about 106 degrees. So you can imagine if you're snuggled up under a mother hen, you feel pretty warm. And so the incubator, a 4-syllable word, keeps the eggs temperature between 99 and 101 degrees. So it's nice and warm, okay? So of course in nature or on a farm, they would have their mother, but in a classroom setting or even on really, really big poultry farms where their business is hatching chicks, they have incubators that keep their eggs the exact right temperature. Every day we will check the thermometer. A thermometer is a tool to measure temperature. Now we'll look at it with you each day, 3 times a day, to make sure that the temperature doesn't go below 96 degrees, because then development will stop, the baby will stop growing, and it doesn't go above 103 degrees, because then we will probably have cooked our eggs, which is not good. So we will check that 3 times a day. We will also, skipped a couple pages, hold on. We will also make sure that the incubator is moist. Now, moisture is how much water is in the air in the incubator. So we want it to feel humid, but we don't want it to be wet. So as I look through the little windows on top of the incubator, if I see little water droplets, at this point, that's probably too wet, okay? So it's important that you keep it just the right humidity or have exactly the right moisture in the air. And the reason for that is it keeps the embryo from sticking to the side of the shell on the inside. It keeps the fluid inside the egg balanced, and it keeps things moist in there so that once the embryo has developed some about midway through, it allows the embryo to move around inside the egg, and hopefully it will help prevent eggs from coming out with crippling problems with their limbs. We have in the past had a problem with moisture, and I did have a chicken come out whose legs just weren't functioning properly, and the poor chick was in a lot of pain. So every day we will also look in the bottom of the incubator. There's a little pool that I refill with water to make sure it helps keep it moist inside. I also have a little spray gun that we might need to use in the event that the humidity is too low. And the last thing we're going to do is turn every single day, 3 times a day. So in nature, birds that are nesting, after they lay their eggs, they turn their eggs. And again, we don't have a mother hen here to turn her eggs. So we're going to have to do that for them. The reason we turn the eggs is also so that the embryo won't stick to the side of the shell. Now, I have pulled for you a quick video of a hawk. Now, as I said, all birds turn their eggs. So I couldn't find one of a hen doing it, so I found one of a hawk doing it. It's really fascinating. It's a little noisy because it's on a farm near a road, it looks like, but it's interesting to watch the hawk push the branches around in her nest and roll the eggs with her feet. So here is a quick video of a hawk nesting and turning her eggs. See how she's rolling it over? There you go. So again, we're going to have to turn our eggs as if we're the mother hen turning the eggs in nature. Now that we know what we are going to have to do to care for our eggs as they incubate in the incubator and as the embryos grow and develop, we're going to listen to a story by one of my favorite authors, Gail Gibbons. She does some incredible stories all about nature, and they have lots of information. It's a nonfiction, and it's full of facts about chicks and chickens, and this story is called Chicks and Chickens.
Chicks and Chickens by Gail Gibbons. Chickens are birds. Birds sing in different ways. These are the ways that chickens sing. Cheep, cheep, cluck, cockle-doodle-doo. A rooster is an adult male chicken. A hen is an adult female chicken. A chick is a young chicken. Differences between chicks, hens, and roosters. A hen has a wing, back, mane, tail feathers, thigh, legs, toes, claws, feathers, breast, neck, wattles, beak, nostril, eye, ear, comb, and head. A chick has a head, eye, nostril, beak, breast, soft feathers called down, toes, claws, legs, thigh, wing, tail, back, neck, and an ear. A rooster has a comb, nostril, beak, wattles, hackle feathers, breast, feathers, legs, toes, claws, spurs, wing, mane, tail feathers, sickle feathers, back, neck, head, ear, and eye. Chickens evolved from wild jungle fowl in Southeast Asia. They can't fly great distances because their wings are too weak. People probably began to tame wild fowl for their eggs and meat during prehistoric times. Stories from China tell of people raising chickens about 4,000 years ago. Today, many chickens are raised on farms. They lay eggs that people eat. Others are raised for their meat. There are about 113 different breeds of chickens. A breed is a group of animals that shares many of the same features. In chickens, it can be types of combs, skin colors, feather colors, and patterns. A few chickens are raised as pets. Some chickens are entered into contests. Roosters of some common breeds: Brahma, Leghorn, Cornish, New Hampshire. Roosters are more colorful than hens. Most breeds are named for the area where they first developed. Depending on its breed, an adult chicken may weigh between 4 pounds, 1.8 kilograms, and 10 pounds, 4.5 kilograms. Rhode Island Red, Sussex, Polish, Plymouth Rock. Chickens are always pecking and scratching at the ground, eating a little at a time. On small farms, some owners let their chickens roam. They hunt for seeds, small plants, fruits, berries, insects, and worms. Because these chickens are able to move about freely, they are called free-range chickens. A waterer on a small farm. On large chicken farms, where chickens are raised in pens or cages, the owners feed the chickens chicken food. The chickens are always able to drink from waterers. In order for a chicken to drink water, it must toss its head back and let the water trickle down its throat. Chicken food is a dry mixture of corn, grains, meat, fish, vitamins, and minerals. A waterer on a large farm. Chickens don't have teeth to chew their food. Instead, the food travels to a pouch in the throat called a crop. In the stomach, the food mixes with digestive juices and enters the gizzard. The gizzard contains pieces of sand and small pebbles the chicken has eaten. These are called grit. The grit and the walls of the gizzard grind the food into small pieces. Chickens use their beaks to clean their feathers. This is called preening. They also take dust baths to get rid of any insects bothering them. Chickens don't have a good sense of smell or taste. They do have good hearing. During the day, they have excellent eyesight. When nighttime comes to a small farm, the chickens are put in a chicken coop. They sleep up on a perch. This is called roosting. Chickens don't have good night vision. Inside their coop, they are safe from any nighttime enemies, such as weasels, foxes, and raccoons. Chickens prefer to be together in small groups called flocks. The leader pecks at the other chickens to let them know who is boss. That chicken is at the head of the pecking order. Cock-a-doodle-doo. This sound is often heard at dawn and in the evening. This sound, called crowing, is made by a rooster. A rooster usually watches over and protects a group of 12 to 20 hens. Roosters don't like other roosters and often fight each other. Many farmers raise hens to lay eggs. Some breeds of hens lay white eggs. Others lay brown eggs. A few breeds lay green or blue eggs. A hen usually lays no more than 1 egg a day. Here is how it happens. Eggs should be gathered from the nests in the chicken coop twice a day. This makes the hens want to keep laying eggs. During the winter, in cold climates, hens stop laying eggs until springtime. A rooster does not need to mate with a hen for her to lay eggs. When a rooster mates with a hen, the egg cells inside her become fertile. After mating, a hen prepares her nest by pulling twigs, feathers, bits of hay, and leaves around her. Only fertilized egg cells can become chicks. Here is how it happens. Each day, the hen lays another egg. Usually there are 6 to 20 eggs. Any group of eggs in a nest is called a clutch. After the hen has laid all her eggs, she sits on them gently, turning the eggs over now and then, keeping them warm all over. Warming the eggs is called incubation. The mother hen incubates her eggs for about 3 weeks. During this time, a chick is growing inside each egg. Day 1, an embryo starts to form on the yolk. An embryo is an animal in the earliest stage of its development. Day 3, blood vessels spread over the yolk. Blood flows through them, carrying nutrients from the yolk to the embryo. The heart develops. Day 7. Now the embryo is surrounded by a water-filled sac. As the embryo gets bigger, the yolk, its source of food, also gets bigger. Day 12. The embryo looks like a tiny bird. When the incubated eggs are about 3 weeks old, the brooding mother hears a cheeping sound. The eggshell of one of the eggs begins to crack. A chick using its egg tooth, a sharp part of its beak, is breaking out of its shell. The other eggs begin to hatch too. Hatching is when a chick breaks out of its shell. Brooding is the care given to an egg during incubation and the first 4 weeks after the chicks hatch. The egg tooth falls off shortly after the chick has hatched. The first break in a shell is called a pip. At first the chicks are wet and sticky. They are very tired. Soon they dry and have fluffy yellow feathers called down. They become stronger. They can see and hear and begin to move about. The chicks make a cheeping sound to let their mother know where they are. The mother hen clucks and drops food in front of them. Chicks can eat the same food as their mother. A group of newly hatched chicks is called a brood. In a few weeks, the chicks are bigger, but their mother still protects them. The chicks have grown feathers. In a few months, these young chickens will look like their mother or father. A female chicken will be able to lay her first eggs when she is about 5 months old. Female chickens less than 6 months old are called pullets. After that, they are called hens. Male chickens less than a year old are called cockerels. After that, they are called roosters. There are more than 10 billion chickens in the world. Gathering eggs on small farms. The eggs are gathered by hand twice a day from the hen's nest. The eggs are washed, rinsed, and dried. They are placed in a refrigerator to be kept and used later. Sometimes the owners place the extra eggs into egg cartons to be sold at farm stands. Gathering eggs on large farms. The eggs are laid and rolled down the sloping floors of the cages. The eggs are washed, rinsed, and dried. Then the eggs are rolled over bright lights. This is called candling. Workers are able to see through the shells to make sure there are no imperfections. The eggs are weighed and separated according to size. Next, they are packed into cartons or crates to be shipped to stores. How chickens are raised on a large farm for their meat. Many chickens begin their lives at special farms called chicken hatcheries. These farms often use special machines called incubators to keep the eggs warm. When the eggs hatch, the chicks are raised in large groups. The chickens live in chicken barns and are fed and given water by machines. At any one time, a large commercial farm may have 10,000 to 100,000 chickens. Chicken tracks. Mother hens cluck to communicate to their chicks. A deep cluck means follow me. A high-pitched cluck means food. Chicks can recognize their own mother's cluck. Hens and roosters may live to be about 12 years old. The heaviest chicken ever weighed, a white solly, was 22 pounds or 9.9 kilograms. The shell of an egg is strong. With its pointed end up, it can support up to 9 pounds, 4 kilograms, before breaking. A miniature chicken of a standard breed is called a bantam. The most eggs ever laid by a chicken in 1 year was 371. The heaviest heaviest chicken egg ever weighed was 13 ounces, or 368.5 grams. The largest chicken egg ever laid was 12 inches, or 30.4 centimeters long. Each year in the United States, about 250 million hens lay about 80 billion eggs. At Easter, some people like dyeing and decorating chicken eggs. There are Easter egg hunts.